Get ready for a deep dive into the world of black holes and parallel universes.
Sounds exciting.
We're looking at this animated video with Chase, a YouTuber, and Raiko, his AI buddy.
Yeah, it's pretty clever how they take some really complex science and make it fun to watch.
It totally is. So they're hanging out near a black hole, and, well, Chase decides to jump in.
Of course he does.
Right, just for a nanosecond, he says.
Mm.
But then Oreo jumps in with, well, a pretty graphic description of spaghettification.
Okay, yeah. That part is definitely not for the faint of heart.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So is that like a real thing? Spaghettification?
It is. It's a real phenomenon. Happens because of the insane gravity around a black hole. Just imagine, like, being stretched out like a noodle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the part closer to the black hole gets pulled way harder than the rest of you.
Okay, yeah, that is not on my to-do list, not even for a nanosecond.
Hmm.
But in the video, Chase survives.
Right.
He says he went through a wormhole, not a black hole,
Mm.
and ended up in a parallel universe. Is there, like, any actual science behind that idea?
Well, wormholes are this theoretical thing, these tunnels through space-time.
Okay.
But as far as we know, they're just theoretical. Haven't actually found one yet. They are a pretty popular idea in physics, though. And yeah, they often get tied to this idea of parallel universes.
So there really could be another universe where, like, I win a Grammy for this deep dive.
You know, there's this thing called the many worlds interpretation in quantum mechanics.
Okay.
And it says, basically, every time a quantum measurement happens, a new universe pops up. So yeah, there could be countless realities out there, each one with a different outcome for, well, everything that could possibly happen.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a mind-blowing idea, but it's still just a theory. Remember that.
All right, so maybe I won't be booking my interdimensional travel anytime soon, but back to the video. Chase is convinced he can use these black holes or wormholes or whatever to jump between universes
Yeah.
until he finds one where he doesn't die.
Which happens a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
So that's where the video takes a little creative license. Even if wormholes did exist and could take you to these other universes, getting through one, yeah, that wouldn't be easy.
Yeah.
Inside a black hole, forget about it. Conditions are so extreme, it's pretty much impossible to survive.
So no matter how many times Chase jumps in, he always ends up back in his own universe.
Exactly.
And Aikyo keeps saying Chase actually died the second he went into the black hole.
Right.
But Chase, he has all these really vivid memories of his adventures. What's going on there?
Well, that's where it gets interesting. The video blends science fiction with, like, a touch of psychology.
Okay.
It makes you think about reality, perception, maybe even the power of belief.
It's almost like he's choosing to believe these alternate realities because of, constantly dying.
Could be.
It's got to be traumatic.
Yeah.
Maybe those journeys give him a way to escape or, like, find some hope.
Yeah. The mind is a powerful thing, capable of creating its own realities, especially when dealing with trauma or adversity.
Definitely. Speaking of the visuals in this video when he's going through the black hole, pretty intense.
Oh, yeah.
It's not exactly a relaxing trip to the spa.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. The video touches on time dilation,
Okay.
which is a real thing predicted by Einstein's theory of relativity. Basically, time slows down in stronger gravitational fields.
Ah, I see.
Someone watching from a safe distance outside the black hole, they would see Chase moving in slow motion as he gets closer to, well, the point of no return.
Well, so that would make the whole spaghettification thing even worse, wouldn't it?
From a certain perspective, yeah. But those visuals, they do a good job of highlighting just how extreme a black hole is. Space and time get distorted, those crazy gravitational forces. It all adds to this sense of wonder and danger.
Yeah, makes you glad to be watching from a safe distance, that's for sure.
Mm.
So back to Chase. He ends up in this parallel universe and meets, get this, another version of himself.
Right.
And this other Chase, he's like a mega famous YouTuber. Millions of fans. It's like a dream come true, right?
It's classic wish fulfillment, definitely. The way they present it is pretty clever, too. This famous Chase, he's stuck in this cycle of doing more and more dangerous stunts just to keep his fans happy.
Yeah, I see that.
His life looks glamorous from the outside, but it's empty. Driven by, what everyone else thinks.
That's a sharp contrast to our original Chase.
Yeah.
He seems happy just hanging out with his friends. And of course, Aikyo.
Yeah. He doesn't have fame or fortune, but he has genuine connection.
Exactly. So the video seems to be saying real fulfillment comes from those connections and from finding something meaningful, not just chasing fame or external achievements. It makes you think about, like, what really matters in life, your own priorities.
Yeah, for sure.
Deep stuff. So it's interesting how they use this parallel universe thing to explore different paths to success. And, well, the pitfalls of chasing fame.
Yeah, it is.
So what happens when Chase meets his other self? Does he try to stay in this perfect universe?
Actually, no. Our original Chase, he rejects that whole lifestyle and chooses to go back to his own universe. Yeah, even though it means being relatively unknown and, facing constant danger.
Maybe he realizes having real friends is better than millions of fans who only care about, his next crazy stunt.
Could be. It's a reminder that real connection and authenticity can be more rewarding than chasing the approval of everyone else. Sometimes the greatest strength is in embracing our own journey, even the messy parts.
I like that. But there's one thing I don't quite get. Chase keeps talking about this dying thing being his superpower. What's he getting at?
That's where the video takes a philosophical turn. It uses this whole concept of dying and coming back to life as, like, a metaphor.
His ability to bounce back from constant death is a metaphor for how we can all face challenges and keep going.
Exactly.
Even if we don't have a spaceship and an AI companion.
Right. Life throws us curveballs, but the key is to get back up.
You know what? I think we've all had those moments. Like messing up a recipe, but then, laughing it off and trying again.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a setback at work, but you use it as an opportunity to, learn and grow.
Exactly. That idea, finding strength in our ability to bounce back, that's powerful.
It is. It's a theme throughout the video, even with all the black holes and parallel universes. It's a reminder that the most extraordinary journey might be the one we're already on.
I like that.
Right here in our own reality. It makes you wonder what other superpowers we all might have hidden inside us. Maybe it's time we embraced our own dying things and used them to, fuel our resilience and growth. What do you think?
That's a fantastic question to ponder. Makes you wonder.
Speaking of resilience, we got to talk about Raiko.
Oh, yeah. He's a fascinating character.
He's building spaceships, explaining, crazy science stuff.
Right.
But he also seems, kind of pessimistic.
What's interesting is that dynamic, between Chase, who's impulsive, always taking risks, and Raiko, who's cautious, always thinking things through. It's almost like a buddy comedy duo.
It's true.
But with a cosmic twist.
Yeah. You can practically hear the laugh track every time Raiko gives a warning, and Chase just ignores it.
Totally. It's funny, but it also shows that tension between those two ways of looking at things. Chase just dives in head first.
Yeah.
While Raiko is the voice of reason, always there to remind him, hey, this might not be a good idea. Makes you think, maybe we all need a little of both.
Totally. The courage to take risks,
yeah,
but also the wisdom to think about the consequences.
Exactly.
But even though they're so different, they have this, really strong bond.
Right.
Raiko might nag Chase about black holes, but he also builds in that amazing spaceship. That says a lot, don't you think?
Yeah, it does. Their relationship is complex, just like real friendships.
Yeah.
They challenge each other, support each other, and in the end, make each other better. It's a good reminder that even, the most unlikely pairs can have these deep connections.
That's true. And don't forget, R.I. Keough is the one who actually encourages Chase to embrace this dying thing as a superpower.
Oh, absolutely. That's a key moment. He might be cautious, but he sees Chase's strengths.
Yeah.
He helps him see the value in being, unconventional.
It's almost like he's saying, look, you die a lot, but you always come back. That's not a weakness. That's something special.
It is a powerful message. It's about self-acceptance.
Yeah.
Embracing those unique abilities, even if they don't fit the, traditional idea of what's good or strong. Do you have any qualities, things you used to see as weaknesses, but now you realize they're actually strengths?
That's a great question. I think we all have those parts of ourselves that we try to hide, but maybe those are the things that make us unique, capable. It's like that quote, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Except in Chase's case, it literally doesn't kill him.
Exactly. But the message, it still fits. We face challenges, and it's our ability to learn, to keep going, that really defines us.
Right. And that raises an interesting question about Chase's superpower. What if it's not just about, not dying? What if it's about facing his fears, embracing the unknown, even when it's scary?
That's a cool way to look at it. Most of us, come on, we wouldn't even think about jumping into a black hole.
Right.
It takes guts to do that.
Yeah.
And a lot of curiosity.
Yeah, those are the things that drive us to explore, to discover maybe the people who always play it safe. Maybe they're missing out,
Yeah.
even if there's some risk involved.
There's probably a balance somewhere, right?
Yeah,
Between being careful and being curious. A way to explore the unknown without, ending up as a long, thin noodle.
exactly. Finding that balance, pushing ourselves a little bit outside of our comfort zone. Maybe that's the key. What about you? Have you ever taken a risk? Something that pushed you out of your comfort zone?
Oh, I think we've all had those moments.
Yeah.
Those times where we had to face our fears, step into the unknown.
Yeah.
Sometimes it leads to something amazing. And sometimes it's just a great story. But either way, it helps us grow.
Right. Speaking of the unknown, let's go back to those parallel universes for a minute.
Okay.
The video has some really cool ideas about them. What really stood out to you about how they portrayed them?
Well, Chase seems to think that if he just jumps through enough black holes, he'll eventually find a universe where everything goes exactly how he wants.
Right.
He even finds one where he, doesn't die all the time.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, I think the guy deserves a break.
Mm.
But it's funny, and it also makes you wonder, what if we could choose our reality?
That is a thought-provoking question. What if every decision we make creates, like, a split in the universe, leading to all these different possibilities?
Wow.
We already talked about the many worlds interpretation, where new universes pop up with every quantum measurement.
Right.
But the video takes it even further. Our choices are creating these splits in reality, too.
Wow. It makes you question everything,
Yeah.
Free will, destiny, all of it. If every choice leads to a new universe, are we really in control? Or are we just along for the ride?
It's a lot to think about. And it makes you wonder, what are all our other selves doing out there in the multiverse?
Right.
Maybe there's a universe where you're a famous musician or an astronaut exploring different galaxies. What kind of alternate reality would you be most curious to see?
Oh, man, that's a question I could think about for hours. It's exciting, but also kind of scary
Yeah.
to imagine all those possibilities, like looking out into space and realizing just how much we don't know.
Exactly. Even with all the science we figured out, there's still so much mystery out there. We might never understand it all. And maybe that's part of the beauty of it. The universe, with all its potential, it will always be full of wonder.
That's true. But it's interesting, Chase sees all that, the fame and fortune in another universe, and he still chooses to come back to his own. Why do you think he does that?
That's an important moment. And maybe it's saying, even with all those other universes out there, our own reality has something special.
Okay.
Maybe it's about appreciating the journey, the people we meet, what we learn, no matter what path we take, what reality we end up in.
Like, the best adventure is the one we're already on.
Yeah.
Right here, right now.
Yeah. And that leads to this really poignant moment where Chase is back and he's thinking about everything that happened.
Right.
He dies at the end of every episode, but he always comes back. He even jokes about getting a super suit.
It really hits you then that this dying thing isn't just about dying. It's about something bigger.
Exactly. He's starting to see the value in his, well, unusual abilities.
He realizes he doesn't fit the typical hero mold. And maybe that's what makes him a hero.
It's a message that goes beyond science fiction. It's about accepting ourselves, even the parts we don't like.
Yeah.
Recognizing that sometimes those are our biggest strengths. How do you think that message, self-acceptance, applies to our listeners?
I think it's so important, especially these days. Everywhere you look, there's this pressure to be perfect.
Right.
It's easy to compare ourselves to others and feel like we're not good enough.
It is.
But this video, it reminds us that the things we try to hide, our flaws, our quirks, those what make us who we are. Those are the things we should celebrate.
It's about finding the superhero inside all of us, even if it doesn't come with a cape.
Exactly. And then we get to that last scene. Chase, even after all that, he decides to jump into another black hole.
I know.
What happens this time? Does he find a new universe? Or is this, like, the end of the line?
Well, he doesn't end up in another universe this time.
Really?
No, he's back where he started, like hitting the reset button.
I'm guessing Arco has something to say about that.
Oh, yeah, totally. He's just like, see, told you so.
Well, he's just totally calm about it.
Yeah, he's just like matter-of-factly stating that Chase was spaghettified the instant he went into the black hole, back to square one, like nothing even happened.
But Chase, he's so sure he went to those other universes, met his other self, experienced all of it.
Right.
He even asks Arco to check his, hard drives for proof. Do you think Chase is just, not letting go? Or is Arco hiding something?
That's what's so cool about the ending. It leaves you wondering.
It does.
Arco just says, no, you went in, You were spaghettified, end of story, now you're here. And that's it.
So what are we supposed to believe? Did Chase actually go to these parallel universes? Or was it all in his head? Or like a last thought before.
The video leaves it open. It makes you think about what's real, what happens after we die, the whole experience of, I don't know, existing.
It's like they're saying, hey, we talked about all this cool science, but in the end, we just don't know what happens when we die. People have been asking that question forever, and it seems like this video just wants us to keep asking.
Yeah, maybe the point isn't to find a definite answer, but to be okay with not knowing, to appreciate all the possibilities, even if we don't understand them.
It's like that Shakespeare quote, there are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Kind of fits.
Totally. I think that's a big takeaway here. Stay curious, keep exploring, keep asking questions about, well, everything.
Because maybe there is a universe where everything works out perfectly. Or maybe the best adventure is right here, right now. It makes you think about what adventure even means, what really matters.
I like that. This deep dive has taken us to some pretty wild places. Black holes, parallel universes, even inside the human mind.
It really has. And to everyone listening, we want to hear what you think.
Mm-hmm.
Did Chase really travel to those parallel universes? What stood out to you the most?
Yeah, head over to our website or social media and tell us your theories. We love hearing from you.
And, like always, stay curious, keep exploring, keep learning. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into, well, who knows? That's the fun part. Until then, keep those brains buzzing.